treasure that dwell inside. In the heart of the wild, they find their stride, unlocking mysteries that secrets provide. There's treasure inside the old maps claim. With every puzzle solved, they add to their fame.
Welcome back, treasure seekers, to Quest Brief. I'm your host, The Wolf, and today we're diving into one of the most intriguing treasure hunt of our time. 5 treasure boxes, each search is packed with clues, riddles, and the thrill of discovery. If you're new here, don't worry, we've got you covered. Each episode, we break down the latest discussions, theories, and breakthroughs surrounding this epic hunt. From solving riddles to analyzing maps, this journey is just as much about the thrill of the chase as it is about the treasure itself. Today's episode is packed as we're recapping the discussions from January 3rd through today, January 6th. This is your summary of all the latest chatter surrounding the 5 legendary boxes. But before we dive in, here's what you need to know. This isn't just a treasure hunt, it's a community effort. Over the past 3 days, hunters from all corners of the world have shared ideas, collaborated, and debated theories. And today, we're bringing you the highlights. We'll start off this episode with the lion's share chest. So grab your compass and sharpen your wits. This is your Quest Brief. Before we dive into this week's discussions about the 5 boxes, I thought we'd take a moment to talk about something deeper, something that connects all of us on this journey. Today, we're exploring the human side of the hunt, teamwork and trust. Over the past few days, we've seen both the highs and lows of collaboration in this community. Some hunters have expressed frustration with the lack of teamwork, calling out how greed and secrecy can derail the search. One member put it perfectly. They emphasize that success depends on cooperation, not competition. Others have shared incredible stories of teamwork, especially when it comes to on-the-ground searches, what we call boots on the ground, or BOTG. One hunter even claims to have pinpointed the treasure's location and is now looking for a team to retrieve it. So let's talk about something just as important as solving the clues, choosing the right people to team up with. Teamwork can be an amazing asset, but it comes with risks. Unfortunately, not everyone in the treasure hunting world has good intentions. The last thing you want is to jeopardize your safety, or the hunt itself, by partnering with the wrong person. Let's break it down. Here are some red flags to watch for when picking a teammate. Overly aggressive behavior. If someone is pushing too hard to team up or seems unusually secretive about their motives, take a step back. Their urgency might be a sign of hidden agendas. Unrealistic promises. Beware of those who claim to have all the answers but refuse to share details unless you give them something in return. Trust is a two-way street, folks. Erratic behavior. Treasure hunting can attract all kinds of personalities. If someone displays extreme paranoia, constantly contradicts themselves, or acts irrationally, it's best to keep your distance. Overwhelming greed. If a potential teammate is obsessed with the prize to the point of ignoring collaboration or fairness, that's a recipe for conflict. Greed can fracture even the best partnerships. Teaming up means placing some of your trust in another person. That's no small thing. You're likely sharing your theories, your time, and even venturing into remote areas together. So before committing to a partnership, ask yourself these questions. Do they share information freely, or are they only interested in what you bring to the table? Have they demonstrated clear, logical thinking in community discussions? Do they have a history of positive interactions with other hunters? Here are a few practical tips to protect yourself. Vet your teammates. Take the time to research them. Look at their contributions to the community. Are they collaborative and helpful, or do they stir up arguments and drama? Meet in neutral locations. If you're planning an in-person meetup, always choose a public place. Let someone you trust know your plans, just to be safe. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. And it's okay to back out of a partnership if you're uncomfortable. Remember, your safety and peace of mind come first. Now, don't get me wrong, teaming up can lead to incredible breakthroughs and friendships. Some of the best treasure hunting moments come from collaboration, but it's important to stay cautious, stay smart, and stay safe. It's time to dive into the most tantalizing prize of them all, the lion's share. Over the past few days, the community has been dissecting, debating, and deciphering clues for what is the ultimate treasure box in this hunt. Let's break down everything we've learned so far. Let's start with what makes the lion's share so fascinating. This treasure isn't just a box, it's the culmination of everything in the book. Participants have observed that this box weaves together clues from multiple chapters, often tied to themes like weight, scales, and the idea of dominance or importance, fitting for a treasure with such a regal name. Now here's the twist. Some hunters believe the smaller boxes are crucial to solving the lion's share. These boxes might act as breadcrumbs, leading us to the larger prize. One intriguing theory is that the Picasso pendant described in the final chapter could hold the ultimate map. Could the pendant be a literal guide, or is it more of a symbolic key? Either way, hunters agree. The lion's share demands not just solving puzzles, but connecting threads across the entire book. Now let's talk locations. California has emerged as a strong contender, with Interstate 80, Tahoe, and Donner Pass all taking the spotlight. These high-altitude landmarks seem to align with the themes of grandeur and importance. But wait, some hunters have pointed to St. Simon's Island, tying in imagery and Appalachian trail clues to suggest the treasure could be hiding in the south instead of the west. These are just theories for now, but they show how wide-ranging the interpretations of the clues have been. Here's where things get even more interesting. Hunters have noticed what could be discrepancies in the book's visuals, like a potentially photoshopped card. This led to theories that hidden layers or manipulated images might hold vital clues. By aligning these visuals across chapters or symbols, some believe they can unlock deeper connections. It's a theory that's gaining traction, and it might just be the breakthrough we need. Here's a fun debate. Is the lion's share actually a chest rather than a box? Its size and the language used in the book make it sound like something larger, more intricate. Could this be the treasure that's worth all the effort? Let's zoom in on some specific clues that have sparked heated debates this week. The missing page. Hunters discovered that page 90 is missing in every copy of the book. Could this be a deliberate clue? Some speculate that torn pages or fragmented pictures elsewhere might reconstruct the missing page. The Hopi calendar? One of the most intriguing clues comes from the Hopi calendar. Unique underlined letters, R, L, E, T, N, and A, stand out. Potential anagrams include antler, learnt, and rental. The calendar's center circle even matches a coin illustration tied to the word search puzzle on page 223. Coins and maps? There's an ongoing debate about aligning the book's coins with a U.S. map. Some argue that slight angle changes drastically shift the potential treasure locations. St. Augustine and Atlanta have both been mentioned as possibilities. So what have we learned so far? The smaller boxes might hold crucial breadcrumbs, but solving the lion's share could still be possible without them. Geographic ties like Interstate 80 in the Southwest are worth exploring, but we can't ignore St. Simon's Island or other unexpected leads. Visual layers, missing pages, and the Hopi calendar might hold the key to unlocking this treasure. There's no doubt the lion's share is a masterclass in puzzle design. As always, the journey is as thrilling as the destination. Let's dig into this week's deep dive on the Appalachian box, also known as the AT box. Over the past few days, discussions have been buzzing with theories, discoveries, and yes, even a bit of drama. Let's break it all down. First up, one of the most talked about areas, Cades Cove. This scenic spot near the Appalachian Trail sparked a lot of interest as a potential search location. Hunters debated whether specific trails in and around Cades Cove match the treasure map. But here's where things get tricky. Accessibility in this area can be a nightmare. Parking is tough, and let's not forget the wildlife. Bears and copperheads are no joke. Some hunters also raise concerns about the steep elevation changes, with one proposed route involving a grueling 1,600-foot climb over just 2 miles. So while Cades Cove is promising, it's clear that this hunt isn't for the faint of heart or the poorly prepared. Now let's talk about the controversy that rocked this week's discussions. Fake trails. Hunters using platforms like AllTrails and Strava noticed trails with names like Spaniel's Run. At first they seemed legit, until some savvy sleuths uncovered the truth. These trails were fabricated through recent edits on OpenStreetMap. A member had created these trails less than a month ago, complete with fake names for features like Bear Rock Stream. These edits didn't match any official maps or show actual use by hikers. This kind of misdirection isn't just frustrating, it's dangerous. Sending hunters down non-existent trails or into unsafe areas could lead to serious harm. Remember, folks, always double-check your sources before heading out. Despite the setbacks, some solid clues emerged this week. A hint involving blue granite was shared, potentially tying the box's location to Appalachian geology. Could it point to areas known for granite formations or even the foothills of the Appalachians? That's a lead worth exploring. On the flip side, hunters recognize that the book's author, John, has a knack for tossing in red herrings and ambiguous clues to keep us guessing. Words like remain steady and imagery of rainbows spark debate. Are they literal directions, or is there a deeper symbolic meaning? What's inspiring, though, is how the community rallied together. After uncovering the fake trails, hunters shifted their focus to reliable tools like National Geographic quad maps, USGS topographical maps, and Strava's heat maps. These resources are helping verify real trails and landmarks, cutting through the noise of misinformation. So, what's next for the Appalachian box? Here are the key takeaways from this week. Cades Cove as a starting point. While not definitive, this area aligns with several clues and could serve as a launch pad for further exploration. The blue granite clue: focus on areas with significant geological features. This could narrow the search down to specific regions. Stay vigilant. Verify trails and landmarks using trusted sources. Avoid relying solely on editable platforms like AllTrails or OSM without corroborating data. Refine your search strategy. Look for steady, repeatable patterns in the book's text and align them with practical BOTG planning. Treasure hunting isn't just about solving riddles. It's about adaptability, teamwork, and resilience. The Appalachian box continues to challenge us, but with every discussion, we get one step closer. We're diving into the Forrest Fen box, a tribute to the legendary hunt that captivated adventurers for years. Over the past few days, the community has been buzzing with theories, debates, and a fair share of creative thinking. Let's unpack what we've learned so far. Let's start with the clues from the poem. One of the most talked about sections references Edgar Allan Poe's The Gold Bug and something called the Devil's Seat. These might point us to specific landmarks, or they could just be more of John's clever misdirection. Now here's where things get really interesting. These coordinates, derived from the poem, seem to point to Carbon County, Wyoming. Could this tie into the mention of Carbon Steel 01 in the text? Or is it just another red herring? The debate rages on. Speaking of geography, most hunters agree the treasure is hidden somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. Popular theories focus on Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, and New Mexico. But there's been some talk about expanding the search to include Utah and Idaho. Encampment, Wyoming, and Bridgers Peak have come up frequently as potential sites. Their historical and geographical significance makes them strong contenders, especially when you factor in the poem's mention of a blaze and the intriguing blue granite clue. Now let's talk about the poem itself. Fans of Forrest Fenn's hunt might notice some striking similarities here. Key phrases like warm waters halt echo Fenn's original clues, but the new poem introduces its own twists, like full weight and dry and thinker's stone. But here's the problem. Warm waters halt is as vague as ever. It could refer to a literal place, like the Agua Fria River in California, or something more symbolic. Without context, this clue feels more like a teaser than a roadmap. Numbers also played a big role in this week's discussions. Hunters are analyzing every digit in the text, trying to extract meaningful coordinates. Some believe these numbers point to a specific spot in Wyoming. Others argue they're purely metaphorical. Now here's a twist. Some participants noticed that items tied to the hunt were listed on heritage auctions. Could this be a clever hint from John, or just a coincidence? It's one more layer to this already complex puzzle. So where do we go from here? Carbon County, Wyoming, this area keeps coming up in discussions. If you're planning a BOTG search, it's a solid place to start. Decoding brown. Theories range from dried-up trout rivers to historical landmarks. Whatever it is, unlocking this clue could be key. Refining the numbers. Are they coordinates or something else entirely? Consolidating all the numerical clues in the book could help us figure that out. In this segment, we're tackling the Pokémon box, one of the most whimsical and debated parts of the hunt. Over the past few days, the community has dissected everything from trail names to Froakies' red eyes, and today, we're breaking it all down. Let's start with the locations. Some hunters zeroed in on Red Bluff and Pearl River, Mississippi, believing they resemble a Pokémon image from the book. But when others tried to match these locations using Google Maps, the connection wasn't as clear. Another hotspot is the Buffalo National River in Arkansas. It's known for its hauntingly mysterious beauty, which aligns perfectly with the book's tone. Plus, the nearby ghost town of Rush adds to the intrigue. Could this be the spot? Now let's talk clues. A big theory centers on Coltrane Circle and its connection to coin patterns and compass alignments. One hunter even linked it to musical notes, like C sharp, and drew patterns on maps to narrow down potential locations. And how about this? Froakie and Greninja are drawn with red eyes in the book, which is pretty unusual. Some believe this could point to rubies or other treasures. Others think it's a symbolic detail, but whatever it means, it's got everyone talking. When it comes to trails, two big names popped up: Hemden Hollow and the Buffalo National River Trails. HIH has its fans, but it's treacherous terrain. Definitely not ideal for a hunt meant to be accessible to all ages. And then there's the mystery of the Alice Looking Glass reference. Some think it hints at an expanded reality or mirrored interpretations of the book's roots. Could this mean flipping the map? Or maybe we're looking at a symbolic detour. A standout moment from this week's discussions was when Froakie asks, "How about now?" Some hunters think this might hint at when the box was hidden, or maybe it's a clue about timing in the real world. But it's not all fun and games. Some hunters raise concerns about the challenges of this search. Highly trafficked trails make it tough to hide a box without it being accidentally discovered. Plus, legal issues around public versus private land have sparked serious debate. So where do we go from here? Refine the starting points. Focus on trails that align with the book's descriptions but are less crowded. Analyze the Pokémon details. Those red eyes and clapping Froakies might hold a deeper meaning. Look for hidden symbolism. Collaborate. Share maps, photos, and notes to piece together the puzzle. Teamwork is key, as always. We're now delving into the past and future box, and let me tell you, this one is packed with history, mystery, and some very creative problem solving. Over the past few days, the community has tackled everything from cryptograms to map overlays, all while debating whether the treasure could be hidden somewhere in the Truckee area. First up, let's talk locations. Truckee, California has been a hot topic, and for good reason. It's rich in history, with connections to places like Boca Reservoir, known for producing the first lager beer in the West, and a basalt quarry near Hobart Mills. Other theories include Crystal Peak and Truckee River Canyon. These spots combine stunning natural beauty with historical significance, making them prime candidates for the hunt. Now for the word search, this puzzle is at the heart of the past and future box mystery. The community has been experimenting with everything from anagrams to visionaire ciphers, and even folding the grid like origami. While some solutions have led to promising leads, others have left us scratching our heads. One standout theory involves sapphire. Is it a nod to Lake Tahoe, often called the Sapphire of the Sierras? Or could it refer to Sapphire, North Carolina? The debate is ongoing, but the symbolism of time, past and future, might hold the key. Let's not forget the broader area of Tahoe National Forest, with its OHV trails, ghost towns, and cultural landmarks. If you're planning a boots-on-the-ground search, this region is a great starting point. And how about this? Inspired by a Christmas story, the phrase "do not tell anyone" has sparked speculation about secret codes or ciphers hidden in the text. Could this be a playful hint, or is it leading us to a deeper layer of the puzzle? So what's next for the past and future box? Explore Truckee and Tahoe National Forest. Focus on areas like Prosser Estates, Hobart Mills, and Crystal Peak. These spots have historical and thematic ties to the hunt. Refine the word search, solve. Whether it's anagrams, ciphers, or map overlays, we need to zero in on patterns that align with the book's clues. And that wraps up today's quest brief. Whether it's the lion's share, the Appalachian box, or the mysteries of the past and future, this hunt is just getting started. Remember, these treasure hunts aren't just about solving puzzles. They're about the journey, the community, and the thrill of discovery. If today's discussion sparked new ideas or gave you a fresh perspective, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a clue or an update. Until next time, happy hunting, treasure seekers. This is the Wolf signing off, where the search for treasure is just the beginning.
On the prize, the thrill of the hunt, bright in their eyes. Each clue uncovered, each riddle undone, brings them closer to clarity.